Let's start with these particular stories and some of the top business headline now. Oil marketers on Tuesday said many depots have stopped loading premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, due to the apprehension caused by the collation of results of the general elections across the country. It was also gathered that while filling stations operated by major marketers and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited were selling petrol between 194 naira and 200 naira per litre, other outlets operated by independent marketers dispensed the products between 250 and 340 naira per litre. Now, this was despite the insistence of the federal government that was no approval for an increase in the pump price of petrol, coupled with the government's demand that PMS should not be dispensed above the approved rate. Away from there now, the National Bureau of Statistics has said the company income tax for the third quarter of last year showed that tax collections from the sector rose to 131.97 billion naira as against the 53.36 billion and the corresponding period of 2021. However, on a quarter-by-quarter comparison, tax collection fell by 15.26% from 155.74 billion naira. It said in terms of sectoral contributions, the information and communication technology sector contributed about 27.31% to the total company income in third quarter of last year, trailing behind the manufacturing sector, which contributed about 28.76%, while the financial services sector ranked third at 8.87% contribution. And away from there now, the Central Bank of Nigeria said it recorded about a trade deficit of $20 million last November, and it said Nigeria's balance of trade position has reversed from surplus to deficit in the month under review, as against a surplus of $50 million in the previous month. According to the report, trade performance was weaker than expected. A trade deficit was recorded owing largely to lower crude oil export receipts. Meanwhile, aggregate export receipts declined by 7.7% to $4.33 billion from $4.69 billion in October. Meanwhile, crude oil and gas export receipts declined to $3.9 billion from $4.3 billion in October last year. In terms of share in total export, crude oil and gas accounted for 90.2%. And now the federal government has promised to beef up security on the Abuja-Kaduna train route over alleged plot by Boko Haram to launch another attack. A letter reaching to the Minister of Transportation, Muazu Sambo, by the Department of State Service to inform him of a planned attack on the Abuja-Kaduna road service by Boko Haram terrorists. Recall on February 10, 2023, the Ministry of Transportation issued a statement through the Director of Press and Public Relations, Henshaw Ogbubike, informing the public that the federal government will implement far-reaching all-round security strategies to ensure safety of passengers, personnel, and assets along the Abuja-Kaduna train corridor and other corridors in the country. Well, and those are some of the business headlines. Now, we take a break now. When we return, of course, Charles Fakora, iBrandTV senior analyst, joins us now. Please stay with us.